Alright, so this is part 2 of your review. We are going to basically add and subtract complex numbers. The key thing here is that we want to have our answers in A plus or minus BI form. It's the same thing as if you are adding and subtracting like terms with the X or the Y or whatever variable that we've been doing in my math lab in your modules. However, this time, instead of X's and Y's or any different letter, we specifically have I. I stands for an imaginary number in this situation. So the first examples that I'm going to do are the ones where you have a plus, an addition sign in between. The rule for having a plus sign in between, if you see a plus sign in between two terms, remember, this is a term right here and this is a term right here, so you have two terms. What's in the middle is an addition, so if you have a plus sign, the rule technically is to drop all parentheses. Drop all of them. So this now turns into negative 6 minus 7i without the parentheses, and then you keep everything here. So it's a 2. What kind of 2 is it? It's a positive 2. So plus 2 plus 6i. From there, look at the form that we want. We want the numbers first. So I'm going to combine these two. Negative 6 plus 2 is a negative 4. And then combine these two. A negative 7i plus 6i is a negative 1i. But in math we don't really do a negative 1i. We just simply say negative I. The next one, I'm going to do all the pluses first. Here's a plus sign. The rule is to drop all parentheses. Keep everything the same. Just drop everything, all the parentheses. So this becomes a 4 minus 8i minus 2 minus 6i. And then you combine your like terms. So keep in mind this is 15. I'm jumping around because I'm doing all the pluses first. So combine these two. 4 minus 2 is a positive 2. And then a negative 8 minus 6i. Negative 8i minus 6i. Both of them are negative. So when you have like signs, you add them and keep that sign. So you have a negative 14i. The next one is 16. Here's a plus. So I'm going to have a negative 5 minus 4i. It's a positive 8. So I'm going to say plus 8 minus 7i. From there, combine my like terms. A negative 5 plus 8 is a positive 3. And a negative 4i minus 7i is a negative 11i. Alright, I think that's about it for the pluses. Let's take it slowly with the subtraction. Let's do number 20 for subtraction. The rule for subtraction is, as you can see, here's my subtraction sign between those two terms. The rule is change the sign of each term behind it. So you're still going to drop the parentheses, but anything that's behind this minus sign you're going to change the sign. So this is going to be negative 4 minus 5i. Keep that part. Remember, still going to drop the parentheses. Now here, this is a positive 4, but now with that minus, it's going to become a minus 4. This is a positive 6i, but we're going to change the sign, so it's going to be a minus 6i. It turns into its opposite sign. That's the whole purpose of a subtraction sign. A subtraction sign changes something behind it to its opposite signage. So we combine like terms. A negative 4 minus 4 does not cancel out. They do not give you 0. They add up to be a negative 8, and then a negative 5i minus a 6i add up to be a negative 11i. Number 17, here's a minus right here. What does that mean? That means that you're going to change everything behind it to its opposite sign. In other words, this is going to be a positive 4, this will become a negative 6i, this will become a negative 3. So I have 2 plus 4 minus 6i minus 3. And then from there you combine your like terms. 2 plus 4 is 6. And then take that 6 and say minus 3, that gives you a 3. Negative 6i is the only thing that's by itself, and so we just bring it down, minus 6i. We have 2 minuses, so we're going to just take it 2 terms at a time. So this is this positive 8 will change to a negative 8. So I have 2i negative 8 right there, which basically stayed the same if you want to think about it that way. Then here we have this second subtraction, so that's going to change everything here. So it's going to be plus 2 minus I. Let's combine our like terms. A negative 8 plus 2 is a negative 6. And then a 2i minus I is a positive 1i, or just a positive I. Okay, we have 2 subtractions. So basically inside these parentheses, each of these are positive, but remember, we changed the sign behind it. So here this is going to become a negative 6i, and here this is going to be a negative 3i. So we still keep this. Anything that's in front will stay the same. So we have negative 3 minus 8i. This will change to a minus 6i. This will change to a minus 3i. So we basically have a negative 3, and these add up to be a negative 17i. And then the last one, which is a combo. Remember the rules. If you see an addition between those two, drop the parentheses. So 6i plus 6i. Then, what happens when you see a subtraction? You change everything behind it to its opposite signage. So this positive 7 will become a negative 7. This negative 3i will become a positive 3i. Combine your like terms. Negative 7 is the only number, the only constant, so that's going to come down. And then 6i plus 6i plus 3i. So that is 12, 13, 14, 15i. So plus 15i. There you go. Very simple. And that's it for that part.